Hello everyone, welcome to our online lesson. I am Nishat, I am here again and I am happy to see you here again, by the way, guys. So today's topic is different from the other topics. You can ask me what kind of the differences we have. Like before me and the previous lessons, we have talked about a lot of things related to grammar, right? We have talked a lot about the grammar, like since we started our YouTube live streams. I mean, like we started it in March, and we have had lots of videos related to pronunciation, related to speaking, reading, writing, academic English, general English, like everything. So I'm gonna change the tendency that we are doing the lessons. I'm gonna change the way how we do it. And the topic is different, as you see from my screen. Like topic is about speaking, right? Like everybody had the same problem. Everybody asked the teacher, how can we improve that speaking? How can we be fluent in 3 months? How can we speak in English fluently? So most of them are pre-intermediate level. Like most of my students are pre-intermediate level students. That's why I'm gonna talk about them. I'm gonna talk about the topic for my students who are suffering from this problem. Okay, I will be here for 2 hours, as you see, and let's start. If everybody's ready, let's start with the topic that I'm gonna discuss, I'm gonna talk about with you here. So guys, the thing is, I'm gonna ask you if you have any question, if you have any single questions related to the topic speaking, reading, writing, listening. Okay, the most probably like we will focus on the speaking part of English. As you know, English has 4 parts. We have the speaking, listening, reading, and writing parts. We will be focusing on like concentration is speaking. We will concentrate on the speaking part of English. How to improve English speaking. Hello everyone, welcome again and again. So just I want to ask you to leave your comments, to leave your like ideas in the chat box we have, and I would be really happy to get questions from you, as many as you have. Okay, just ask me questions. How to be fluent in 3 months. Like 3 months is not too much time, like 90 days, around 91 or 93 days, right? So in 3 months, how can you improve? How can you start speaking in English? That is the topic that today I will be talking about the ways how can we improve, how can we start from the beginning level to like pre-intermediate and the talking in English fluently. Okay, so guys, let's start with the tactics. Like with Justenglish also helps its students to speak English fluently. How? I will explain. Like first one is about the reading. Why I added reading to the first place. So reading is one of the essential parts of English, you know, like we have the books, we have the lots of books in English, like every day, if you start practicing, if you start reading something, just one paragraph every day, for example, around 2 or 250, maximum 300 paragraphs or essays or like articles, anything, novels, or it can be any reading material, right? So the thing is, you should read every day. You should read every day. It could be useful. It could be helpful for you to improve your speaking. So you can read a paragraph. You can read a single paragraph, okay? And after the reading, you should talk about what you have read. Okay, for example, you read about the city, Istanbul. All right, so the economic of Istanbul, or you got about the policy, like political things or economical things, or like anything about Istanbul. And after you read the text, okay, you should talk about the text, what you read. Okay, what do you understand from the reading? What do you understand from the paragraph? What was the main idea? Okay, what was the supporting ideas, examples? So it will help. It will help you to speak better than before, because you can see the words in the sentences. Okay, you can see the word, how you can use it in the different situations. How can you use it in the different situations? Okay, for example, essential, important, right? They are two words, they are adjectives, and you don't know, you're not essential, you know the meaning of the essential, but you don't know how to use. The reading will help you in that case. All right, for example, if you see the essential in the sentence, you know the structure of the sentence, you know how to use it. Okay, so reading has this kind of advantage for everyone to improve their speaking. So the reading is like this. While you are reading something, you always face with the tenses. Yes, one of the problems is about the tense. In English, we have like 12 tenses. We have present tenses like present simple, present continuous, present perfect continuous, past simple, past continuous, past perfect continuous, and future simple, future continuous, future perfect, and future perfect continuous. Altogether, we have how many tenses? We have 12 tenses. I'm a simple man. I need the simple past tense. I use it. So why I'm showing? Because most of my students have a difficulty to use the tenses in the right place, in the right position. Like, for example, instead of using present perfect, they use present simple. Instead of using present simple, they use present perfect, or past simple, past continuous, or future simple, future continuous. So this kind of problems, this kind of confusions they have. I don't know why, because they practice less. They don't know how to use the tenses in the right place, right time. Okay, so the tenses plays an important role in your speaking. Okay, like I think in 3 months you can solve it. How? For example, write just one sentence about the present simple. I wake up at 7 a.m. Okay, I wake up at 7 a.m. This is the present simple. What about the present continuous? Like get the meaning of the tenses firstly in your native language. For example, in Turkish language, what does it mean, the present continuous? All right, so present continuous, it means like something happens at the moment of speaking. What I am doing, I am talking about the grammar. I am talking about the how can we be fluent in 3 months. So these tenses, if you get the meaning of the tenses, you will use them easily and quickly without thinking too much about that. Yes, tenses, as I told you before, play an important role in your language, in your spoken language, because you can't use the past simple if you are talking about right now, or you can't use the future if you are talking about past. You have to get the meaning of the tenses and try to apply it to your speaking. Oh my god, this is a present perfect tense. So the question is, everybody knows the present simple, but nobody knows how to use a present perfect. Most of them have the same problem. Like the present perfect, why we use the present perfect, have, has, plus, past participle. Turkish people, like Turkish students, my Turkish students say, teacher, like present perfect, like have, has, plus, past participle, verb 3. So, but I know structure, I know have, has, plus, past participle, but I don't know why and how I can use present perfect tense. Yes, like present perfect, the past perfect, or future perfect, they are a little bit different from the simple tenses, and you should get the meaning, okay? The meaning, the general meaning of the present perfect, and you have to write down the meaning, not the meaning, like usage of present perfect, the rules, like why we use the present perfect in our speaking, and then try to use. Try to practice. For example, I've just spoken, I've done, I've bought, she has gone, she has left, blah, blah, blah. Like, just if you write a single sentence for present perfect every day, if you practice it, so in 3 months, you will be perfect. Believe in me, you will be perfect. Okay, guys, you will be fantastic. You'll have a fantastic speaking. Like if you practice like this, present perfect, the past perfect, the future perfect. We have lots of tenses, as I told, like 12 tenses we have in English. So you have to try to use them, practice them. How? Like every day, at least 15 minutes. Like not at least, maximum. Let's say maximum. If you practice maximum 15 minutes in tenses, for example, present perfect, okay, every day, if you read something about the present perfect, at the end, like by the end of the 3rd month, okay, you will see the big change in your capacity of speaking, and you will see tremendous change, you know, not a simple change, tremendous, like a huge change in your English. That's the thing, you have to be careful with that. I think nobody has a question. I don't know who are watching us here. Can you say something, and can you ask me any question here? Because like maybe I may forget something to tell you. Just if you remind me, teacher, I have this problem as well. How can I solve that? How can I speak? How can I improve my speaking? I will talk about the problems that you have. The thing I wanna ask you is just writing your comments, asking your questions. Please ask your questions if you have. Okay, and like there's a joke. The teacher asks their student in the classroom, he or she, like the teacher says, "I killed a person. Convert this into future tense." Like change this sentence to the future. How can we use this sentence? The future students say the future tense is you will go to the jail. It means there's a misunderstanding between the teacher and the student. The student get wrong by teacher. I kill a person. How can we use it? Like how can we use this sentence into in the future tense? Like we should use I will kill a person, but student says he will go to the jail. So the tenses, as I told you, they play an important role in your sentences while you are speaking, while you are writing, reading, or doing something else. It doesn't matter. Like the tenses, they are really important for everyone. Okay, guys. The next thing I'm gonna talk about is games. Yes. Why I choose the games? Why I added games to the list? Because you know, not everybody. I may make a mistake. Not everybody. Like 80 or around 85% of students. 85% of people love playing games, right? Why don't you play the games in English, not in Turkish, not in Arabic or Turkish language or German or other language? Like if you want to practice your English, so do whatever you are doing in English, like games included. For example, there are lots of games you can play is in English. Must be in English, okay? Like we have Sentence Monkey, Memory Game, Sentence Monkey, as you see, Public Science, you can see, and the games about the tenses, the games about the pictures, colors, numbers, countries, nationalities, everything, okay? Or about the food, about the vocabulary. So playing games help you to learn English in a short time period. So okay, the games, they are really important for everyone, I think. Like I know that you play the games at least like 1 or 2 hours you spend your time on playing games. So the thing is, if you change it to English language, if you play the games in English, it would be fantastic. It would be awesome for everyone, for you. What is the next? Yes, the next is about the pronunciation. What is the pronunciation? The pronunciation is like pronouncing the word, saying the word correctly, improve your English pronunciation. How you can improve your pronunciation? The thing is practicing. Okay, there are lots of words. For example, congratulations. Can you repeat after me? Congratulations. Congratulations. There are some words in English. There are some words in English that it is really difficult to pronounce them. Congratulations is one of them as well. Yes, congratulations. If I ask my student, can you pronounce the congratulations in English? They say, no, teacher, it is really difficult and their tongues are twisted. You know, look at the picture. I think this is a real picture that shows reality. Yes, today's reality is about the twisted tongue, twisted. Like, congratulations. So tongue twisters help improve your diction. Diction teach you how to speak quickly. How to speak quickly. I know the student, they speak like tortoise, you know. They speak like slowly and slowly. Teacher, I went to supermarket yesterday at 5 p.m. Oh my god, like 2 minutes passed and he or she hasn't finished his or her sentences. That is the problem. You have to speak as much as you can, as much as quickly. Yes, it's really important. You have to speak English quickly. So the tongue twisters help improve your diction, teach you how to speak quickly, guys. How can we improve that? How can we speak quickly? Just practice with tricky sayings like this. In English, we have some tricky sayings, like what kind of tricky sayings we have? Just one of them I'm going to show you. The 33 thieves thought that they threw the throne throughout Thursday. So did you understand anything? I think yes, you did. The 33 thieves thought that they threw the throne throughout Thursday. Like the practicing. One of the most difficult part of English is TH combination pronounced together. That is the problem that everybody has. Everybody has this problem to pronounce. So either TH or CH. I know, I understand your problems. Okay, practice with tricky sayings. If you practice them, you will, believe in me, you will really change your pronunciation in a good way. Can you repeat that? The 33 thieves thought that they threw the throne throughout Thursday. It is a long sentence and each word has TH combination and it's pronounced like th. Okay, the pronunciation is a difficult and important part. Okay, guys, the pronunciation is really important for everyone. So please be careful with the pronunciation and practice a lot every day. Say the words for 100 times a day, 100 times. Okay, practice with the tricky saying that you have the problem to pronounce with TH, 33, thieves. So this kind of pronunciation, if you do every day, you will improve your speaking. You will improve your speaking tremendously. The next technique, the next technique of speaking in English fluently is asking and answering. So most of the time I experience like I have the group lessons in the branch, I have the students, I have the classes like from pre-intermediate to upper intermediate level. They don't ask any question. That is the thing. They don't ask any question. Just they are listener in the classroom. They are listener, listening to the teacher. They do whatever the teacher gives them to do. and they obey the teacher. That's it. They don't ask any question. Teacher, what does it mean? Blah blah blah. How can we use and the different questions they can ask? They must ask, okay, and answer the questions. Answer the question. Like, for example, if your partner in the classroom, if your classmate asks any question, you can answer. Don't hesitate. You may make a mistake. It's normal. It's normal for everyone. Okay, making a mistake is normal. Just try to learn how to make a question type of the sentences. How can we make a question? Can you tell me? How can we make a question? Just, I'm asking you, guys, how can we make a question? All right, I'm waiting. So, like, how can we make a question for what? Okay. How can we improve? And let me check your comments to answer your questions. All right. Okay. Gülsafa, Azime, Havva, Leyla, Kadir, Sudena, Zahide, Halil. Hi, teacher. You are 100% right. We have to read every day. Yes, of course, it's true. I always ask my teachers many questions, but some of them didn't like. I know, Gülsafa. That's the interesting thing. You should ask. You must keep asking the question from the teachers. If he or she get bothered, like get annoyed of you, it's normal. Okay, so it's normal. So she sells seashells on the seashore. Azme, really good sentence for the pronunciation you wrote. Thank you so much. Yes, Gustafa. Okay, don't how can I explain? They don't get ashamed by the teacher that if the teacher doesn't like getting questions by the students. It's normal. Okay, I love my students who ask questions from me. Because the lessons that we teach must be interactive. Interactive, I mean, it means like if I explain something to my students, they should ask me why. The question is why. Okay, the teacher, you said we have to use, for example, present perfect. Why? The teacher will give you the detailed information under why. Yes. Okay, the asking and answering the questions is really important for everyone. The next one is about the group discussion. Yes, the group discussion is also an essential part, it's a crucial part, not essential part. Let me use the synonyms. Let me use the different words of using the essential or important. It's a crucial part. Crucial, it means very important. Okay, group discussions. Group discussions, for example, you have the friends at school, you have the friends at the course, you have the friends in the class. So just discuss. What is the discuss? You know, discuss is kind of talking about the topic, about the like any topic from the different views, from the different angels. Let's say it like this, the different points. Okay, everybody has his or her idea. All right, you have your own idea. The thing is, you have to talk about your own ideas, your thoughts. So group discussions is really important for everyone, because let me explain it. Yeah, let me say something related to the group discussion, why I am saying it's important. Group discussion, like for example in the picture, how many people you can see there? You can see 2, 4, 6, 8 people you can see, right? And it means you can get at least 7 ideas from the different people. 7 ideas, 7 different sentences, 7 different words, 7 different grammar. Yes, that's why group discussion is really, really, really crucial. Okay, it's really important. So, like if you are talking about like any topic, any specific topic, if you discuss about the topic, Okay, you can learn lots of things from the people, like the people from different cultural backgrounds, from a different point of views. So you can learn a lot. You can learn a lot from the group discussions. Ceylani says right. Yes, Ceylani, thank you. Thank you so much for your confirmation. Azime says tartışmak. Yeah, in Turkish it is tartışmak. Thank you, Azime, for your translation. And let's continue with the next one. What is the next thing in English? How it is possible? Go from speaking good English to great English by thinking in the language. How can we think in English? Like whatever you do at home, like whatever you are doing at home, just think about in English. Say something in English. Okay, for example, you are planning to go to the supermarket. You can say, oh, I should go to the supermarket. I should buy, for example, tomato, cucumber. I have to buy some salads. I have to buy chicken. I have to buy yogurt and blah, blah. Like thinking and saying the words in English will help your speaking. Yes. And if you start doing it from now on, from today, and at the end of like 3 months, you will see the change in your speaking, believe in me. And for example, if your friend asks you anything in Turkish, you will answer in English. You will answer in English. Yes, believe in me. Believe in me. I had a student, just, you know, they say, teacher, how can we improve the speaking in a short time? For example, I don't have enough free time. I work. I have children. I'm married. I don't have enough time to spend on it. I say, just whatever you do at home, at the street, at work, just do it in English. Okay, use the stickers. Like stick something on the refrigerator, right? For example, this is butter, this is bread, this is blah blah blah, this is blah blah blah. So you can learn doing it. Yes, you can learn it by doing that. Sometimes I dream in English. Wow, Azime, how is it possible? It means you think a lot in English. That's why you dream in English. That is a really good thing. It's really good thing. All right, and thinking, like you will, like firstly you will find it difficult. It means you will have the difficulties at first, but after some time you will learn how to switch between English, like speaking in English, and your first language. We live in the country that the English is a second language. It's normal. All right, it's normal. Just how can I explain? Include English to your life. Apply English to your life, your real life. Yes, Dylan says English should be in our life if we want to learn it. Yeah, of course. Why not? The thing is like this. We have to think in English. We have to practice every day, at least like 15 minutes. 15 minutes, I think. It's a big time. It's a big amount of time that you spend on that. I am sure that you watch lots of things that you really don't need. For example, listening to music, right? The Turkish music or any music you listen to, or watching the movies in Turkish. Instead of doing this, you can listen to something useful for you. Will help you to think in English. That's the thing. Like everybody listens to music, everybody watches a movie, everybody watches something on TV. The thing is just changing your lifestyle, to improve your speaking in English. Let's continue with the next one. Make sentences. Yeah. How can we make the sentences? Actually, this is a simple way to learn English. Like, for example, the people who started learning English from the beginning level, what should they do? first they should learn how to make the sentences. As you know, in English we have the subject, we have the verb, and we have the object, right? For example, I love my students. I is a subject, love is a verb, and object is my students. Yes, object is my student. So like you have to learn how to make the sentences in English, and like you have to learn what is the subject, what is the verb, and what is the object, and you have to apply the tenses into the sentences. For example, if you wanna talk about the future, you can add will. I will love my students. If you wanna talk about the past simple, you can add the, like to the end of love. I loved my students. And if you are talking about something generally, you will say, I love my student. That's it. Just write one sentence. I will practice how to use the tenses in a short time. We will practice in the second part of the live stream. I will show you how can we do that as soon as possible. Okay, just 3 months. We are talking about 3 months. It's not impossible. It's possible. You can do that, guys. You can do that. It's not. It's a big issue. It's a piece of cake for everyone. Yeah, as I say, it's sometimes difficult to understand words of songs. Yes, it is. It is because the songs. You know, normally the songs have lots of informal speaking. Okay, like street speaking. Street speaking they use, like the street language. Okay, so that's why you may not understand the word. What is the meaning of the word, or what is the word? Actually, like if you saw the word, you would understand the meaning. But when it comes to the listening, like tomorrow I will be talking about the topic. Anlıyorum ama konuşamıyorum. Tomorrow I will be talking about the topic. Just anlıyorum ama konuşamıyorum. We will solve by that video tomorrow. I will be talking about that the problems that the students ask me, teacher, anlıyorum ama konuşamıyorum. I think you will find it interesting. So the thing is learning how to make the sentences. The guy, one of them asked me a question. Bu yayını canlı izleyebilir miyim? Yes, you can watch it later. Like the guys will, I think they will record. We are recording the videos and they are uploading the videos into our YouTube channel, and you can watch it later. Yes, I was talking about the making the sentences. Yes, the making the sentences in different tenses, in different structures. Just, you know, one day, or like 3 months we have, right? 3 days, like we have 12 tenses, right? 3 days, 1 tense. If you practice like this, for example, first 3 days, you can start with the present simple, and then next 3 days you can continue with the present continuous and the present perfect continuous. Just practicing, okay, writing the sentences, making the sentences by using, for example, present perfect. I have done this job, and try to use it in the question, have I done this job? And practice a lot, 100 times. You have to say in front of the mirror. If you do that, if the way I am telling to you, if you do, believe in me, you will be in the higher level. Like at least your level will be intermediate. Like if you want to improve your vocabulary, like for example, choose a topic. For example, the topic is about the weather, the topic is about the clothes or food or environment, economic, anything, okay? Just write down the name, the list of the words, and try them in the sentences. How can you do that? I will show you in the second part of the lesson. We will try to practice. How can we improve our English by making the questions, by making the sentences, negative type of the sentences, positive types of the sentences, and question type of the sentences. You have to learn the techniques. You have to learn the techniques. I know most of the teachers say, okay, read this book. This book is really important for you. And you read, but you don't understand. It doesn't help you. Yes, it doesn't help you. Just, it's a, the combination of the sentences, you can see 1,000 words in a book. And I remember that I had a student who bought a new book, collection of the words, but she was memorizing them. I asked her, what are you doing? She told me that she was memorizing the words in the book. I said, okay, that's the good, but how would you practice? How can you use that word in the sentence? And she looked at me and she told me that she doesn't know. She doesn't know how to make a sentence, how to use the word in the sentence. That is the problem. So, if you remember, at first I told you that reading is important. Why reading? Because if you read a paragraph a day, you can see the words, how they are used in the paragraphs, how they are used in the sentences, and you can notice, you can realize, you can take notes. Okay, for example, the word is environment. Okay, I know the environment, it means çevre. How can I use çevre? How can I use environment in my sentence? I can't use. It means you don't know. So it will go to your passive base. It means it won't be active, that you are not able to use it when you want. So instead of memorizing the words from the books, you should practice them. You should write the word in the dictionary, getting a meaning in the sentence. Okay, you have to get an example sentence and practice. For example, environment. We shouldn't we shouldn't pollute the environment, because we have the future generations, they will need that. So just I use the environment in the sentence, and I practiced. That's it. Or for example, let's say new word. Let me change. Curtain. What's the curtain? It means perde. So how can I use perde in my sentence? Just I have to use it. For example, my curtains are beautiful, or the colors of my curtains are wonderful. So I'm learning the structure of the sentences. I'm learning the different words, different adjectives, and different sentence structures. Yes, every day, if I do with the different words, at least, for example, 5 words a day you learn and you practice. I know you know lots of basic words in English, around we have 500 or 600 basic words in English we have. But if you want to improve your vocabulary case, you should learn at least 5 words a day. 5 words, it seems less than normal, but it's okay. If you do that, if you start learning 5 new words in English every day, and if you write the sentences about them, and if you use them in the sentences, if you practice them, if you use in your speaking, it is enough. It is enough. Which topic you are talking, you will have a good communication skills. You will be able to talk about, you will be able to communicate with everyone. For example, you will be able to talk to doctors, engineers, lawyers, teachers, anyone else, because they are from the different professions, and you have to get to know, you have to be familiar with the words for different topics. Yes, for the different topics. And the name of today's lesson is about how to be fluent in 3 months. That's the things: reading, practicing, and learning at least 5 words every day. 5 words every day, and practicing. using in the sentences, make the sentence, positive sentences, negative sentences, question type of the sentences. So, and watch something related to the topic that you are learning. All right. I think you should have a question. You should have a question about the things that I mentioned. The last one is about the thank you. Yes. Do you have any question what I told you? If you have, you can ask me your questions. Like in the second part of the lesson, we will practice. Like I will show you the ways how to improve your speaking. I've talked the general things in English firstly. I've talked about the general techniques, like general improvement techniques. And in the second part of the lesson, I will practice them. How can we do that? How can we do that together? So, just I'm gonna ask you, do you have any question what I told you, what I showed you today? Azime is here, Ceylani, and Azime, Ceylani, Gülsafa. Yes. And Hasip Arabacı. If you have any question, guys, don't hesitate. Please just leave your comments, and I'm ready to answer. I'm ready to answer your questions. For the speaking, for the listening, for the reading and the writing, whatever you want, you can ask me. And try to watch, for example, I know most of you have that TV at home, and use your TV in English. Like every single details you have to pay attention to, change everything to English. For example, if you are watching the news on TV, you have to watch the news on English. For example, CNN, BBC, BBC News, CNN News, Al Jazeera. Like there are lots of like news channels. Like there are lots of the news channels in English you can watch. Believe me, you can watch, and you can watch, and you can improve your listening, and at the same time you will listen to the word that you have never heard before, and oh, you will be shocked. Oh, I don't know that word. How can I improve it? So then you will search for that word, and you will see that in the sentence, and you will never forget that word. Believe in me, you will never forget that word because you learned it. And you saw on the TV, you practiced, you listened, and you wrote, and you used it in the sentence. So that's why you won't forget. There's not any chance to forget that word again anymore. Okay, and Hussein, long sentences make not easy. Yes, Hussein, I will show you, like in the second part of the lesson, we will practice how to make the sentences, long sentences. How can we speak but using the long sentences, like subjects, objects, the verbs, the adverbs, adjectives. How can we use them in the like long sentence? I will show one by one. Don't worry, just keep continuing to watch us here. Like by the way, guys, like the second parts will be more interesting than the first one because we will practice. We will practice how can we make like, and also make these long sentences, and I will show you the differences between the short sentences and long sentences. Like what's the difference between short sentences and long sentences? How can we make it longer? Ceylan says, right now I haven't any question, but I ask some questions to myself every day. Yes, you should ask yourself the questions why I'm not able to speak in English very well. I think everybody must ask themselves the same questions in order to improve themselves, to improve their speaking, the way of speaking. Like we have the general English speaking, we have the professional way of speaking. I always ask my students, please use a professional way. I know it is it is a little bit hard, it's a little bit difficult, but try to do your best. Try to do your best to use the professional way of speaking. Yes, not that I go to the supermarket every day. This is a simple one, right? Yes, you have to use the professional way, and good vocabulary and deep grammatical structures and the right pronunciation. That is the thing. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have the break time. I'm gonna have the break time, and after the break time, we will keep continuing. Like in 15 minutes, I will be back here again, and we will be talking about and we will be practicing how to be fluent in 3 months. See you after the break.
Olduğun yerden hemen kalkman gerek. Adım at ki gerçekleşsin her dilek. Bekliyor seni parlak bir gelecek. Sen ona gittikçe o sana gelecek. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel.
A world with a joy and smile, a world where everyone will live by satisfaction and learn to survive in the outside world. Justinglish style. Learn, play, sing and dance. Do what you don't see anywhere else. Learn, play, sing and dance. Do but do Justinglish style.
Hayat devam ettikçe bitmez bu yarış. Sen de bir dil öğren, macerayla tanış. Hayat devam ettikçe bitmez bu yarış. Sen de bir dil öğren, bu dünyaya karış. Justinglish'le şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglish'le şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglish'le şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglish'le şimdi sen de dile gel.
Knife. Enthusiastic.
Pronunciation.
Enthusiastic.
Enthusiasm.
Enthusiastic.
Reci bilmiyorum. Recipe. Recipe. Bir daha. Recipe.
Clark. Pronunciation.
Şimdi sen de dile gel. olduğun yerden hemen kalkman gerek. Adım at ki gerçekleşsin her dilek. Bekliyor seni parlak bir gelecek. Sen ona gittikçe o sana gelecek. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel.
A word for the joy and smile, a world where everyone won't lead by satisfaction and urge to survive in the outside world. Justinglish style. Learn, play, sing and dance. Do what you don't see anywhere else. Learn, play, sing and dance. Do but do Justinglish style.
Hayat devam ettikçe bitmez bu yarış. Sen de bir dil öğren, macerayla tanış. Hayat devam ettikçe bitmez bu yarış. Sen de bir dil öğren, bu dünyaya karış. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel. Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel.
Knife. Knife. Enthusiastic. Enthusiastic.
Pronunciation.
Enthusiastic.
And enthusiasm. Etrustic.
Reci bilmiyorum. Recipe. Recipe. Recipe. Bir daha. Recipe.
Clark.
Clark.
Pronunciation.
Justinglishle şimdi sen de dile gel.
Hello again. This is the second part of today's lesson. Yes, as you know, today's topic was about the Be Fluent in 3 months, and I am Nijat. This lesson is for pre-intermediate level students, the students who have the same problem, who have difficulties to speak fluently. And as in the first part of the lesson, as far as I remember, we have talked about how to be fluent in 3 months, how to improve English speaking. And the second part, then the second part of the lesson, we will practice them. How can we improve them? How can we improve our speaking? So the ways we will be talking about, and we will practice the ways. Okay, we will practice the techniques. And some students ask me, the teacher, I have the difficulties to make longer sentences. Okay, hi again, it's too good to see you. Jaylani says the same for me. Jaylani, it's good to see you, my students, here as well. I'm really happy to have the lessons and to talk about the important things. Okay, not talking about the grammar, not talking about the vocabulary, like general problem. I want to talk about speaking problems that you have. And we have talked techniques. So far we have talked about the reading techniques, and we have talked about the tenses. We have talked about the games that they most of the students like to play games. I advise them to use the games in English. And the next one is about the pronunciation. Actually, there are lots of funny videos on the YouTube channel related to pronunciation, like they mispronounce the words, and that's why it makes them funny. Improve your English pronunciation now, and congratulations, like the tongue twisted. As you know, it's really difficult to pronounce. Tongue twisters we talked, and ask and answers, like asking the questions and answering the questions. How can we do that? I told you how we can do. And the next one was about the group discussion, like how group discussion helps us to improve our speaking. And the next one is about thinking in English. How can we think in English? I told you, you have to do what you do at home. You have to speak in English what you are doing. Like if you are in a kitchen, in the bathroom, in the bedroom, in the living room, wherever you are, you have to practice. You have to practice in English. Making the sentences, yes. The last and important one, the last but the most important part of today's lesson is about the making the sentences, guys. How can we make the sentences perfectly? I told you that we will be talking about the second part of the lesson about the making sentences by using different grammatical structures. And let me show you how can we make the sentences that help us to speak fluently. Okay, guys, let me show you something here. As you know, for positive sentences, what we are doing, we are just writing the subject and the verb of the sentence. Okay, the subject and verb. And who asked me about the long sentence? I think one of them asked me about the long sentence. Which one? Hussein. Yes, Hussein. Hussein said that making the long sentence is not easy. Yes, Hussein, I agree with you. But let me make it easier for you. How can we make the sentences longer in an easy way? As you know, the sentences, Jaylani, I prefer to talk myself because it's perfect for me. Yes, Jaylani, it is true. You have to talk to yourself. You have to practice. And you have to talk to yourself in front of the mirror. It can be useful and productive for everyone. So subject plus verb. Let me change the color of the what shift, okay. Subject plus verb. This is the sentence structure, right? For example, I let me write object here. Subject, verb, and object. This is the sentence structure. For example, I love swimming. Okay, this is a simple one. I love swimming. Swimming. Yes, I love swimming. I is a subject, love is a verb, swimming is an object. How can we make it? How can we make this sentence to a longer sentence? How can we do that? I think you can see my screen clearly, right? I think it's better. It's much better. Yes, for example, I keep the same, the subject. I keep the subject same. I love swimming. Swimming. So how can we make it like I go swimming. I go swimming every week. Every week. So I go swimming every week. Yes, I added how often, like the frequency of adverb to the end of the sentence. I go swimming every week, and I should change the color of the rest of the sentence to show you that it is possible, guys. It's possible to make it longer. I go swimming every week. You can ask who with. I go swimming every week with my close friends. All right, and let me change it with a different color. Okay, I go swimming every week with my close friends in Istanbul, for example, or in Izmir. In Izmir. So I made it longer. In Izmir. All right. Let me change the color. I think this one is much better. Yeah. Okay. As you say, I wrote a sentence. I go. All right. I go swimming every week with my close friends in Izmir. And the first sentence, I love swimming. Which one sounds better? Which one is good? Can you tell me which one is better? Of course, the second one is better. Why the second one? Because I added the time, like how often we go swimming every week, and who I go swimming with my close friends. And where do we go swimming? In Izmir. I added the time, I added the people, and I added the place. So you have to think about that. Before making the sentence, while you're speaking in English, think a little bit about that. For example, I go swimming. Okay, just add the time, how often. I go swimming twice a week, for example. Every week with my close friends, who I go with my close friends, and where? At the end of the sentence, where? In Izmir. That's it. And then let me write the second one. Second one. The second one is, for example, he plays football. He plays football. And in this case, I'm gonna get your support. I'm gonna get your help. How can we make it longer? Can I get your ideas? Can I get your thoughts? How can we make it longer? I'm waiting for your comments, and I'm waiting for your ideas to make this sentence longer, not as short, okay? He plays football. How can we make it longer? Just we have to add the people, we have to add the frequency of adverb, and we have to add place. All right, guys, I'm waiting for your comments, and try to do your best. Sıla says he keen on playing. He keen on playing football with his friends. I will write this Sıla's sentence here. Sıla says. He keens. Okay, not keen. Keens on playing football. He keens on playing football with his friends. With his friends. Okay, this sentence is good. This sentence is really good. In Istanbul. Sıla says in Istanbul. Yes. He keeps on playing football with his friends in Istanbul, but Sıla, you forgot something. You didn't add how often. He keeps on playing football, for example, every weekend. Football every weekend. And we have to add the frequency of time. He keeps on playing football every weekend with his friends in Istanbul. So, or he plays football. Which one is better? Of course, the Sıla sentence is better because we have the detailed information. We gave the details to the listener. That is the thing. And he or she shouldn't ask the question, okay, how often does he play football? And we have to talk again. He keeps on playing football every weekend. And we can ask, who does he play with? We can say, oh, he plays football with his friends. And again, we ask, where does he play football? We could say, oh, he plays football in Istanbul. Instead of like giving three different or telling three different sentences, we can use just one and detailed. One sentence and detailed sentences. Yes, we can use. And Gülsafa, let's continue with Gülsafa. Gülsafa says, let me write the Gülsafa sentence here, and let's change the color for Gülsafa. Gülsafa says he plays football every month with his brother and cousin in the stadium. Okay, he plays what? He plays football. All right. He plays football every month. Every month, good. Every month with his brother and cousin Okay. And what we have in the stadium. Yes, that is a good sentence. Thank you, Gülsafa. We have the detailed information here. And relative clauses. Yes, which, where, when. We can use relative clauses. Ceylani touched a really good thing in English. Like we have the relative clauses, we have the defining relative clauses and non-defining relative clauses. In order to speak in English very well, let's use non-defining relative clauses or defining relative clauses. For example, I saw a girl who works, for DHL, who works for DHL cargo company. Yeah, and we can use to make long sentences. Yes, for example, she. Let me change the color. Yes, she falls in love. We love a guy who works, like, let me make it this small. Yeah, who works for DHL. So, she falls in love a guy. Falls in love with A guy who works for DHL. So the guy, which guy, we are giving the important information by using the defining relative clauses. She falls in love with the guy who works for DHL. So we can use this kind of relative clauses, like this is a defining relative clause. Defining relative clause. And let's use a non-defining relative clause. For example, I bought a book. I bought a book which was published in, for example, 1992. I bought a book which was published in 1992 is great. For example, is great. I bought a book which was published in 1992 is great. So I use the non-defining relative clause in this sentence. Non-defining relative clauses. So I used non-defining relative clause in this sentence in order to give more information, like non-essential information, of course, but I make it longer. Azime says, I mean talkative. Azime, I was looking for your comment, but I couldn't see your comment. Why you mean talkative? I'm a student who study at UTAA. I don't know UTAA. I'm a student who studied at okay, I'm a student who. She's a student who studies at UTAA. And Gustafa says she lives a place where everyone's dream of. She lives in a place. Gustafa, we have to write like this. She lives in a place. She lives in a place where but not where, which it is everyone's dream, or everyone dreams of, which everyone dreams of. Also we can write like this, everyone dreams of, yeah. She lives in a place which everyone dreams of, yeah, like this. I think there's a problem. Maybe you have an internet connection, that's why we couldn't see your sentence. Okay, we wrote the sentences like a positive sentences. And how can we improve the question? Like, for example, in order to speak in English, we have to able to speak making question type of the sentences. Like questions, the question starts with do, we have does, we have did, we have will, we have to be, for example, am, is, are, we have, like auxiliary verbs, I mean, have, has, had. Okay, this kind of verbs in English, like auxiliary verbs, that we can make questions. We can make questions. All right, how can we make that? How can we make the sentences by using the auxiliary verbs? Okay, so it's really important. It's really important to make the sentences in English, to speak in English in 3 months. Like to be fluent in 3 months. How can we do that? How can we do that? Okay, I wrote, I think there's a problem. Yes, yeah. Like let me teach you something. Like let me teach you something important here. Like in order to speak in English fluently, you have to know the tenses, as I told you, and we have to have the good the vocabulary base. Okay, this is really important for everyone. and they have to know how to make the question type of the sentences. For example, do you play football? And if it is a present perfect, we have to use have you played football? Have you played football? So as you see from the sentences, like do and have, they are the difference. Like one of them is about the present simple, another one is about the present perfect. And just try to practice them. Try to practice how can we use them in English. How can we make questions? Yes, does she consider about her mother who did everything for her daughter? Does she consider? No, Gülsafa, does she consider? Okay, because you use the present simple, like we can use either did or consider. That's it. Yes, just to learn about the tenses, to like question forms of the tenses. Yeah, and another thing is about using the different words. And for example, the word is important, right? Important. And can you tell me the synonyms of important? We have necessary. We have necessary. We use them at the beginning of the sentences. Yes. We have the crucial. We have important, we have the necessary and crucial. Like if you learn one word, try to learn the synonyms, like the different synonyms of them. And another word is, for example, salary. Can you tell me the synonyms of salary? Like the synonyms are really important in your speaking. Synonyms. Learn the words of the synonyms of the words. Essential. Yes, I forgot essential here. That's good. Thank you. Essential is like is a synonym of important, necessary, crucial. Okay. So, and for example, wage we have. Yes, wage and salary, they have the same meaning. So, like if you learn salary, please look up the dictionary and go to the word salary and try to find the synonym of salary here. And you will see the synonym of the salary is wage. So it means you can know both of them and you can use like wage and salary in your sentences perfectly. Yeah. The next one is about, for example, what? Let me write a different word. For example, road. So, road is a word, and most of you, I think, you know the synonym of road. We have ways. Way. Road, way, they have the same meaning, but they are used in different situations. Okay, the synonyms are really important. Antonyms is the like opposite words we can learn. Like they can help you to learn to use them perfectly. Antonyms. Like let me write opposite words. Opposite words. For example, opposite words. Can you tell me? Start and stop. Like if you learn start and try to learn stop as well. I wanna start, I wanna stop. So start, stop, or finish. Finish or begin. Like we can use start, we can use begin, we can use stop, and we can use finish. So start, begin, stop, finish. It means like with one word we learned 4 different words. So start, begin, stop, finish. Opposite words if you learn every day, and you will be fluent in 3 months. Believe in me. Yes. And also we can use and as Gülsafa wrote. Yes. Like let me use comma here. Yes, we can use what? We can use end. Start, begin, stop, finish, ends. Yes. Okay, and a different one. For example, buy. We have buy. We have purchase. Yes, we have buy. We have purchase. We have get. We have obtain. And the opposite words, for example, we have give, okay, get, give, we have sell. For example, we have maybe final, yes, Mr. Adam, it's true. And for example, buy, purchase, get, obtain, or receive. For example, receive. Receive have the same meaning. Okay. Give, sell, send, deliver. They have not lose. Lose is different. Lose, it means find and lose. Like we can use find, and we can use opposite word like lose. Yes, find and lose. Like if you learn opposite words in English, it will help you to speak, to be fluent in a short time. Halihan Aydoğan says, hi, how are you? I am really fine, thank you. Halihan, I want to learn English. That's why we are here. I am here to teach you how to learn English. Okay, you are late, but it's okay, no problem. Yes, get and lose, maybe Gusafa, maybe they can be used in different positions, in different situations, yes. The next one, for example, we said start, we said buy, find, and for example, what? Let me write adjective. Happy. Yeah, the simple one I wrote. Happy, sad. For example, long, short. Like if you learn words like this, yes, Hanjat, Hedi, great job, thank you so much. Long or short, right? Like if you are learning the opposite words, it will help you to be fluent in 3 months. Like it means you will learn. There are some words which are written same, but the meanings are different. Yes, let me continue with that topic. I will be talking about the topic as well, which one is really important. Adem abi İngilizce mi öğreniyorsun? Halihan is asking. Yes, Azime says there are. Yes, I read. Unhappy. Yes, happy, unhappy. Also, we can use unhappy. Yes, unhappy, sad, great, gloomy. Also, we can use. Yes, a different form of sad is gloomy. Long, short, and yes, Azime said, like the same words, and different meaning. How can we use? For example, the word is date. The first meaning of date is fruit. Fruit. Yes, fruit. Okay, fruit is the first meaning of the date, right? Fruit. And the second meaning, the fruit is kind of Arabic. In Arabic countries, you can see. In Iran also we have that fruit. Like in Turkey also you can see hurma. You say hurma, date. And the second one is about it's related to time. Yes, today's date is blah blah blah. And the last one is about the romantic meeting. Romantic meeting, like couples. I wrote. Yes, like the word has 3 different meanings. That word has the 3 different meanings. The first meaning is fruit, the second meaning is time, the third meaning is romantic meeting. Like if you learn a new word in English, you have to be careful with the different meanings of them. Like we have fruit, we have time, and romantic meeting. Like one word can be used in different ways, in different situations. That is the thing, you have to pay attention more, and you have to be careful. Alright? Like fruit, time, and romantic. And can you tell me another word which has a different meaning? For example, clothes. How can we use clothes? The first meaning is about, for example, shut the door or close the door. Yes, we can use close the door, or shut the door. We can use them. And the second meaning is about what? Close friend. It means like near, close, near. Like something is like near. Close is related to, yes, near. We can use. And another one. Teacher, can you speak slowly? Yes, I will try to slow down. Maybe I am speaking too fast and you can let me know. I will slow down, no problem. Yes, and another word is about what? Can you tell me just one word that has the different meanings? For example, mean. Mean has a different meaning. For, the last one I'm gonna write. The mean is the kind of stingy. The first one is about the stingy. Like stingy to people who are not willing to spend money. For example, you and your friend, you go to restaurant together and your friend is stingy, your friend is mean. You can say, for example, my friend is mean. So it means he did not spend any money in the restaurant. In the restaurant, yes, he didn't spend any money. The second one, the mean is a meaning. Yes, the second meaning of mean is meaning. Yeah, meaning. It means blah blah blah. The person, the first one is about the character, is about the personality. Like if someone is mean, it means stingy. The second meaning of the mean, it means a meaning. Yes. For example, it means stingy. Yes, that's the thing. And you have to be careful. And if you know any word that has different meanings, you can let me know. You can let me know, and I will tell you. Like the last one I'm gonna write, it's about tie. Tie is a kind of it's a kind of cloth. Yes, like for example, where is your tie? You say in Turkish kravat. Yes, a kind of cloth. I forgot of a kind of cloth. Yes, and the second one is about tie your, for example, shoes, tie your laces. Tie your laces. Yes, tie your laces. It means, for example, shoes lace. Okay, you have to tie them up. Yes, to close like this. Yeah, and I think they are enough, like for the meaning of the words. Yes, we have talked about the synonyms. We have talked about the opposite words that they are really important for everyone that they have to learn. And the next one is about the, like for example, one word may have a different meanings in the sentences. Like we could use them in the different sentences. And the next technique was about what? Like we have talked about the vocabulary, we have talked about the sentences, and what we have to be careful with is about the pronunciation. Pronunciation. Yes, pronunciation. Pronunciation is really important. Why pronunciation is really important? Because like if you pronounce something in English, we have to pronounce correctly. For example, congratulations. Congratulations. It's difficult, but you have to. Yeah, there are same vowels. Pronunciation. Congratulations. Or for example, right, but some people says right. Right. They pronounce it like right. It's not right. It is right. Yes. How can we use that? All right. How can we use the pronunciation? Pronunciation is the different problem. like the students. Yes, the students make mistakes. Pronunciation is really important for everyone, I think. This is my view. And what about you? What do you think about the topic? I don't know, but we have to be careful with the pronunciation. All right. So and about the pronunciation, about the next one, wrinkle. Yes, whistle. Like, for example, we don't pronounce W. Or, for example, psychology. How can we write the psychology? Can you help me? Can you write the psychology? But don't use the dictionary, please. Don't use the dictionary. You write the psychology. Can you write the psychology here? Please, just please don't use any dictionary here. Don't use any dictionary. Psychology. Can you write the psychology? Okay, I am writing it myself. Yes, like we have the P here, but we don't pronounce P here. Psychology, psycho, CH combination pronounced like K. Psychology, yes, I think Halihan Aydoğan, I think he went to the dictionary and wrote the word. Yes, psychology, what is it? Physiology, psychology. Yeah, they are really difficult to write. Okay, I know, but you have to practice them a lot. You have to write them like for 10 times, 15 times in order to get familiar with the word. Like if someone says psychology, oh, okay, it's a PCHOLOGY. So it must be actually easier for you to write it. Easier and quicker. Best YouTube channel ever. Thank you guys. Cici, I don't know who was that. Yes, we are trying to do our best for our students in order to improve their English, in order to help them, in order to motivate them to write, to learn, to speak, to read, to listen English. And we are giving them the methods. We are telling the method, we are talking about the techniques. Like today's lesson, we are talking about the speaking techniques. Okay, the pronunciation is really important part for the speaking. And the next problem, like we have talked about reading, we have talked about pronunciation, we have talked about the vocabulary, and what else? Any question? The last one I'm gonna talk about is about practicing. Practicing is very important, guys. It's really important. Like I will show you, the practicing is very important. Yes, for example, now teacher, physical. Yes, physical. Yes, the physical is also difficult to write. For example, now. Yes, great. Yeah, practicing is really important. For example, you watched today's lesson and you learned something here, right? You learned something here. And in order to learn it, you have to practice. For example, you can go to the course, you can go to the like any branch of Justenglish, and the teacher will talk about the grammar for 3 hours. And if you don't know how to use, come home and practice. Okay, just practice saying the sentences again and again, writing the sentences again and again, so it will help you to improve your not only speaking but also general skills of English. Okay, so the practicing is really important for everyone. It's really important for everyone. So please practice a lot, at least like 15 minutes a day. If you practice English, 15 minutes a day, if you practice English, you will improve your speaking tremendously. You will see the differences between your speaking, like right now, current speaking skills and the previous skills. Yes, and I'm gonna ask you. Well, like we have 5 minutes left to finish to finish this lesson. I'm gonna ask you, what else would you like to ask me about the English? Like, what would you like to ask me? What would you like to learn from me? I'm waiting. I'm open to your question, guys. Like I've talked a lot, I think, about the being fluent in 3 months, and I think it will help you. Like this lesson will be productive for everyone and will be useful and helpful for everyone, actually. Like the name is attractive. Yes, being fluent. Okay, you have to be fluent in 3 months. You can do that. It is in your hands. Like the thing you have to do is spending time on that. If you want to learn something, you have to spend time. Like, as I told you, at least 15 minutes a day. If you practice English, you will completely improve your general English skills. Guys, I'm gonna spend last 4 minutes for you, and I'm gonna wait for you. I'm gonna get your comments. I'm gonna get your like, how can I explain, questions, like ideas, thoughts that how can you, the teacher, how can we improve our speaking? Like, as I told you, I've talked about the reading skills, I've talked about the pronunciation, I've talked about the vocabulary. We have the 2 types of vocabulary, like base. We have the active base, we have the passive base. For example, you may know like thousands of words. Okay, it's normal, but if you don't know how to practice them, it is really difficult. So, how to memorize the words? Halihan says how to memorize. Memorizing is not the solution, Mr. Halihan. It's not the best way to memorize. The memorizing is not a good way. Instead of memorizing, the best way is looking or using the word in the sentence. If you wanna learn one word, just see that word in the sentence, or look at the word in the sentence. That is the thing. Yes, and because in the sentence you can use how to use the word correctly, and you can get the meaning of the word from the sentence. Yeah, it is very hard for me. Yes, it is very hard for everyone, I think. Memorizing is not good way, guys. Don't memorize the words. Okay, I know, like some words you can memorize, but not all of them. In my opinion, like as a teacher, I have more than 5 years experience in teaching, and you should learn new words from the sentences. And using the one word in different sentences is the best way of practicing. That's it. It's the best way of practicing. As I said, the lesson was too helpful for us. Thank you a lot. See you. Thank you, Azime. You're welcome. It was really nice for me to teach about the speaking skills, like how to be fluent in 3 months. Yes, in 3 months you can do lots of things. Believe me, it's not a short period of time. It's enough time to learn a new language. Just as I told you, you should spend the time. You should practice as much as you can. You should try to do your best. Okay, and also, like, if you may have any problem, you can go to our YouTube channel and you can ask our wonderful teachers. You can ask your questions from them. We are here for you. We are here for our students. All right, I think I've talked a lot today, and the topic was about the speaking. That's why I spoke. And I hope you learned something from me from today's lesson. I was really happy to be here for 2 hours with you. We learned a lot together, and we've talked about the ways, techniques, and strategies. How can we improve our speaking skills? How can we improve our technical skills, like related to speaking? I practiced the method before. Even if you try every day, you can improve yourself. Yes, you should. Like if you are learning something, you have to learn, you have to practice a lot. Big likes, big hearts. The same from me, double C. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. It was really good to see you here. Thanks for your comments that you left and you wrote your comment in the chat box. And I'm gonna say big thanks to everyone. Thank you so much. Take care. See you the next lesson. The next lesson will be tomorrow at 2 p.m. and I will be talking about anlıyorum ama konuşamıyorum. That is the really interesting topic that we will be talking about. And as message, I think we must memorize sometimes, for example, the comparative adjectives and superlatives. Yeah, as I told you, like something can be memorized, but lots of things can be learned by practicing. Okay guys, thank you again. Thank you so much. It was really wonderful for me. Take care. See you. Have a good weekend. Bye bye.
Olduğun yerden hemen kalkman gerek. Adım at ki gerçeklik